Welcome to the second winner bracket semifinal. RavenCourt playoffs, everybody. We have the top 4 playing in a double elimination system, as I already explained in the previous series. Now we got Team Ash against the Raiders. Another best of 5 series until we're reaching the grand finals. All best of 5s from here on out. We are in the winner bracket as mentioned. So whoever proceeds here goes up against the Exodia stack, the team around Dino and Bad Benny in the winner bracket final. And the loser drops down into the lower bracket to try and go for that loser bracket run to make things happen. I said it in the previous series, I said it again, guys, I'm actually a little bit sick. I have a slight fever that I'm running, a little bit of a headache, all just on the edge. So just in case that at some point I stop talking, that's me just muting myself to blow my nose real quickly, or because I have to sneeze or anything else. So yeah, I'm trying to soldier through here, but if you hear any weird sounds, that's it. So, worst case scenario, I'm going to stop the stream at some point and cast from replays the rest. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, that's the explanation for any weird shenanigans that you might experience during the broadcast here. But yeah, we'll see. So, we got Sylvanas banned out and we got Maiev banned out quickly too. Okay. And now we have our boy Diablo. Honestly, I was just like looking at the draft and I was thinking about a couple of stories that I also wanted to tell people, but I think we're going to save those for a bit later. Either way, Diablo gets taken out. I love that we have another variation of Team Ash right now. I'm always happy when I see Team Ash in any kind of tournament because their playstyle is just awesome. I really like how they are just all out. Reminds me a bit of what we had in the Korean tournament just recently. Again, if you guys are just watching this on YouTube, keep in mind we had a Korean tournament with one Chinese team, and we also had a North American tournament, and both of them are currently on the YouTube channel. You can go to the playlists, and you should see playlists for both of the events that you can easily navigate through. But if you want to have a bit of a comparison with different meta, that's probably the best that you can do right now, just to get a bit of a feel. And especially in the Korean tournament, we had a lot of former HGC players also participating, and in the North American tournament, 30K was playing with basically the entire lineup. So Caterpillar was playing in it, and I just love how some of them, you know, come back for these few NA events that we have, so it's always kind of fun. Jojo is the first pick on Infernal Shrines. We get Hogger for Sven and Chromie. Yeah, with Nano, obviously, I mean, what do you expect he would take, right? So, yeah, Chromie is available, Nano, Chromie, Hanzo, you name it, he's on it. He's gonna play a mage here. If he doesn't get Chromie, he's gonna maybe fall back to Mephisto. But either way, it's gonna be one of them. And, yeah, that gives us the double pick for the blue team to follow up on Johanna. I mean, Jojo is already a good pick for the Infernal Shrines, no matter what, if you want to take control of the shrine. Diablo, with all the bullying that he does, just pushing people into walls, is great. You got Limu with Genji and Brightwing. Alright. By the way, while we're here, has anybody watched Horizon in the movies? I'm a little bit of a sucker for a good Western, and I saw that Kevin Costner is basically just now directing those. It's supposed to be 4 movies with a 3-hour runtime, so basically his Lord of the Rings. And I'm kind of intrigued. Like, some of the good old Kevin Costner Western were pretty cool, and the recent stuff that he's done was nice as well. Has anybody watched it? If so, let me know in the comments, because I'm currently thinking about catching it in the theater, or if I just watch it later, but I'm at least intrigued about the project that I only heard about yesterday. Yeah, I had no idea, so kind of curious. Back to Heroes, Dehaka. Yeah, I mean, again, with Jojo, you already have Hogger taken. They banned 2 of the side laners now. You can always go Leoric in this case. I mean, Leo is always a great alternative. They're a little bit worried about Varian. You have Chromie on the other side, so yeah. Quick taunt, Chromie damage, support hasn't been taking it either, so you could go for anybody that has a lock on the target. Stukov, Malfurion. Stukov, by the way, interesting character because he wasn't played in the Korea tournament at all. I'm not saying that he gets massive amounts of play on the European scene at this point either, but he still sees play. So now we get Anduin and we get Garrosh, the pretty boys in the house, and Anduin. And with that, you can go for a couple of nice flips, lock him down, and take him out. Right. Or on the blue team side, final picks. Come on, boys. What's the side lane? Are we going Leoric? Are we going Spooky Ghost? Or, yeah, we're going Spooky Ghost. I shall suffer. And a bit more damage. It's cooldown. We need a mage as well. That's the AoE that they still needed. Gul'dan is in the house. Ultralisk, the final choice for the Raiders here, playing with the Raiders for now. It's a very dangerous team. I mean, Team Ash, obviously, we kind of know what to expect from them. But now that we got the Raiders with a bit of a different iteration, this is a very dangerous and scary team here, too. So what's Ultralisk gonna play? Give me that Carrigan. I doubt it, but would be fun. So, it's Carrigan! Alright! It is gonna be fun! They are going for Carrigan! Infernal Shrines! Well, here we go. The prophetic abilities are kicking in again. The Church of Khaldor is still going strong, is still going hard, as you can see here. All hail Cock, and with that, we're heading into game number 1 of the best of 5. Game number 1, Team Ash against the Raiders. And over on the left side, we got Lopaka on Johanna for the blue team. We got Renella on Brightwing, Morenas on Leoric, Mirialis playing Gul'dan, and Limu on Genji. Over to the right side, the Raiders with Sven on Hogger. We got Skok on Garrosh, Death Knight on Anduin, and very happy about the choice that Ultralisk made here. So he actually went for Carrigan, a great pick of course for the map, but also something that can have just huge snowball effects if played correctly. And we'll see how much he can do here. With Nano on Chromie, this should definitely get interesting. I mean, Nano's Chromie plays in general are very, very strong. And I personally just want to see how much he can actually do here right now. If he's able to follow up on those CC chains that we're definitely going to get, then this should be a pretty big party for the team. At least so you would expect. So, as it stands right now, the usual shenanigans in the early game. Everybody is just jumping around a little bit, seeing if they can get maybe a sneaky kill on someone. I highly doubt that this is actually going to happen. But it always could. I mean, if you're playing with Carrigan and she lands a good combo on anyone, then your damage dealers, if they follow up, have always a chance to get that kill. And already, Limu is already way too low here, if you ask me. That could become a problem. The stun connects. And Limu gets out. But damn, Ultralisk getting aggressive right from the get-go and really making them work for it. So I like it. Job well done. Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. Getting very aggressive on this. And even trying to maybe sneak in and do some damage over here. Jojo is a bit isolated, if you ask me. Lopaka might actually fall. Get some assistance, of course. They're trying to help him out as best as they can. But I am not so sure what they're going to be able to do here. This is going to be more than a bit tricky. They are fully invading, though. They're coming in with everything that they have in order to take them out. And they are not quite there to take the camp. Are they getting out, though? I like the chutzpah of just coming in and trying to steal it away and really committing to it. Damn, they're getting away with Limu also escaping. Carrigan on his butt a couple of times. Not able to drop him though. That's a nice opening into the game. Very aggressive from both sides right now. And yeah, me like it. Okay, so over towards the middle. We're having now still another camp that is pushing through. So the Raiders are currently attempting to get some extra lane pressure going. They're also going for the neutral camp, which they've just now taken at the bottom of the map. Haven't seen a single kill yet, but we're looking at level 4 talents for both teams. Full-on drain build from Miriala, so going into just drain at this point. Yep. And of course, with that, then immediately the next question. During the objective, are we going to have one of the teams pulling ahead with level 7? If Carrigan, I mean, it's still some at the top lane, so if they really want to, they will have to leave somebody at the bot lane too. There's no globals involved here. You can always make the argument for Brightwing, but Brightwing doesn't really have the wave clear in order to properly play this through though. So that's a little bit of a strange one, so we'll see what they can do. But yep, party continues. In this case right now, we have, once again, the next move made for Leoric. Morenas has to be careful on this one. But the red team has already claimed 17 Shrine Minions. So they're looking pretty good on this. And the blue team is just simply letting this slide. They're not really engaging into it. They don't want to fight on the Shrine just yet. They want to wait it out until they have level 10 abilities. But they are also not able to do a lot of work on any of those walls. They might actually lose Leoric here, and indeed they do. So Leo is down. He's first blood in the game. Traditionally, if you are giving up the shrine, what the thought process oftentimes is behind it is, I mean, there's two ways, right? So either you have a team that is already in and of itself extremely good at pushing and you give it up because you think that you can push on a different lane and you get more value than the Punisher will get your opponent. We've seen tons of these plays being made with Sylvanas, Greymane, maybe the two as a combo and some others too. But if you are deciding that you give up the shrine for a different reason, then you still want to push on a different lane to at least get some counter damage in. And that has basically not happened for Team Ash. So they are not losing too much at the top. They lost the wall and they're losing some of the hit points on the fort. The Punisher is not going to survive for too long. But they haven't really done any counter damage anywhere else. So good start for the Raiders. They get the first objective. They get more damage actually in total as I expected on the fort. Taking the wall down and 50% of the hit points. It's not too shabby. That's actually pretty decent. And now they can try and follow up on that. It's again all about the camps here. So the blue team deliberately delaying the actual attack for the next shrine when they have level 10 abilities. But they're getting attacked immediately from their opponents. The whole idea being, of course, let's try and get farther ahead here. They want to go follow Parker. Carrigan dodges most of the damage and dodges all of the damage. The red team, on the other hand, might have gone a bit too deep. Carrigan is in trouble and goes down. Genji with a kill against Ultralist gets a quick one. They're going to lose more than that. Yeah, they're losing way more than that. Chromie is dead and so is Garrosh. Now they go for the Crybaby and Mama's boy is gone. That is 4 kills in total. That was big. That was really big. Carrigan, the first one to fall, as you can see here. And then afterwards, Genji just teeing them up perfectly. He gets the kill on Chromie and Garrosh, and they're following up on Anduin too. Level 10 abilities now for Team Ash. The Raiders trying to get a kill, trying to get momentum. And then all that we saw is a beautiful play from the blue team, capitalizing on them overextending just a bit too much and not getting the kill that they were looking for. And then they took 3-4 in a row. Nicely done. Really well played. Fantastic job by them. Top side, a bit of a drain. I mean, of course, now they have level 10 abilities. It's half a level until the opponent is getting it. They broke through the wall at the bottom of the map. And then always make an argument for trying to also take the fort out. Open up a few more walls, maybe steal your opponent's camp away. I mean, whatever floats your boat, whatever you can possibly do here to get yourself into a better position and all of this. And yeah, they want the kill. And they might get it with the help of Brightwing. Shot 6 hit points! What? Genji is gone! And Sven survives! You are fucking with me. No way. No way. Does he get Brightwing too? Of course he gets Brightwing too. Sven, you monster. You absolute monster. Guys, check this one out. He had 6 hit points. Have a look at this. Here comes the attack. Sven, bam, 6 hit points at this point. Gets the shockwave, and then he gets Genji thanks to the fort, and he goes for Brightwing too. 2v1. Sven is an absolute beast. Total hero. And just like that, the red team is back to business. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, that escalated quickly. I really thought they had him. That was so good at the top, and Brightwing then came in to help out Genji, and it looked like it would be a sure kill. But the shockwave was perfect, and of course, him surviving the initial attack of Genji with just 6 hit points, it was incredible. So, here's the next shrine. Now you gotta fight for it. Team Ash. 4 kills to 3. Here's the moment. At some point, you gotta go and make your play. But here comes the move against Gul'dan. It's flipped around. Taunted still alive. Rain Baby gets interrupted again and killed by Chromie. But Gul'dan is not the only one that falls. Apparently everybody hates Orcs in this game because Garrosh is dead too. And the blue team is now slowly starting to take over on that shrine. Now with Gul'dan gone, that's one of their main AoE damage dealers that is not in the frame anymore. Obviously went for a drain build, but still, he can still do a lot of AoE work. they're pulling, or they're trying to pull ahead here. Red team still has the lead, tries to go for a kill. Opaka's a little bit low. Leo already with another swing, trying to slow them. But the attack is quickly shifting towards Genji, who's desperately attempting to take Ultralisk down. Not able to pull that one off. 34 to 22 stacks. Gul'dan on his way back already, but the same is true for Garrosh. And the Punisher's already taken by Sven, who's absolutely carrying his team now. Gets saved by Anduin, as he should. Genji zipping out, Renella a bit low. There's the blink target, but Leo is gone, Brightwing is gone, and even Garrosh wanted to go for another kill, and this is just massively played now from the Raiders. So many heroes low, got 2 kills in, and they're pushing for the bottom fort. Even chasing there at the top a little bit. Lopaka is going to be able to get away, but they're starting to shift their attention towards the mid-side wall, as down at the bottom of the map, they're not really doing too much about the Punisher here. Not really willing to go for that. It's too early in the game. They can't take the keep down all that easily. So instead, they're just moving into the middle, and they're hoping to drop the wall. See if they can do a little bit more here. For example, destroy the thingy. Destroy the wall. Can try and destroy a little bit more with, for example... yeah, the fort itself, maybe not. But yeah, anyways. So, Ultralisk currently sitting tight over here, over on the right side. We're having another camp taken, 6 kills to 5. Still a leading experience, by the way, for the blue team, so that's the interesting part about it. Blue team is currently still ahead. Garrosh now getting attacked and killed again, so Team Ash is still looking for kills, and they're getting them. So that's the good news. But as it stands right now, Myriad barely dodging that second stun. That could have been dangerous here. At the bottom of the map, though, it's now Team Ash that is starting to make a move for the next camp, but they're getting the neutral one. When you just look at the damage numbers, we have 26,000 for Chromie. So, as you would expect, she's the top damage dealer for her team. So, it doesn't really come as a surprise or anything. But, yeah, well... that's said and done. We have 30,000 for Genji, so he's actually ahead. Genji is ahead of Chromie in this instance. All the way up at the top. Sven's still holding the line. Blue team. It's kind of funny that they didn't really lose too much around the last objective, because essentially what happened here, I mean, again, if you think about it, they were the ones that were losing the Punisher big time. But they... what did they lose? A tower at the bottom, and in the middle the wall. So, it's not bad. But it was early in the game, of course, too. We already have 12 kills, so we're more than 1 kill a minute right now. Yeah, with level 16 talents now slowly starting to kick in. Genji is still scouting this out a bit. I mean, they have already done fairly well here. Anduin, as they're going into the next fight, has to be careful too, but here comes the Entomb. They really want him. Nice! Actually, that was pretty sweet initially, at least. Allowed them also to follow up on it. So here comes the next attack as they're making a move for Garrosh again. And X-Strike! Fireworks! And Garrosh gets healed, but they still want him. And they get him eventually. Now they're focusing on Anduin, so it's 2 heroes down. Team Ash, with the usual aggression that we know from the team, is now going from one player to the next, trying for Carrigan. Crystal is already used by Ultralisk, but they want him, they get him, and that's kill number 3. The blue team with mad aggression from start to finish here. Just going in, going absolutely ham on them. Renella... yeah, careful you two. They already lost previously to Sven. So if you're up against Hogger here, I would heavily recommend that you're falling back. Topside fort is now gone. That's 2 forts, by the way, that have now in total been eliminated on the blue team side. It's nice that they're getting kills. I like the aggression. I like them going for team fights and absolutely crushing those. But then at the same time, the problems that they're facing is it doesn't lead to anything. They have an advantage in experience, but there's no talent lead. There's no structures that they have taken down. If they can snowball this to an early level 20, that might change. But right now, they gotta do something with this. Can they get the objective here? Now they're already on it, trying to make that happen. Leo goes down first though, so Leoric is eliminated. Genji is dead too, and that is the Raiders clawing their way back into this. 2 heroes down, they want to go for number 3. Jojo gets attacked. 30 stacks for the blue team. They don't get the Punisher, do they? It doesn't look like it. 30 stacks, 31, and they're missing out on it. Yeah, the Raiders are just... The Raiders, they're making the smarter plays. They're just making the smarter plays. When they get an attack and it's successful, they are able to capitalize on it. They go for forts, they set camps up properly. They were pushing with the Punisher earlier, so that's 2 forts already gone. Now they're getting a 3rd one. This is the 3rd Punisher in the game in a row that they're able to grab. So 3 Punishers in a row for the red team now. And likely it will cost the blue team their final fort. So the blue team is about to lose the fort in the middle of the map. Huge problem for them, of course. The entire outer ring of defense is therefore gone. And they are just massively suffering on this. And despite that leading experience, that, by the way, we still have for the blue team. It's now starting to disappear. Now it's disappeared. But until now, we still had it. They were never able to capitalize on the advantages that they had to get themselves farther ahead. That's the big problem here. So, 10 kills to 9. And the big push for the middle now. All the forts are gone. They're of course hoping for more here. They're hoping to take a keep down, at least drop it low. And yeah, try and make a move there. But as things stand, well, we have half a level until 20. There's the move for Genji. And that's a kill. Genji destroyed. He's gone. That's a 5 versus 4 that they're playing out now. And they're looking better and better by the minute. And of course, that level 20 talent is now coming in every moment. Would eventually, or should eventually help them to get that keep in the middle. I mean, now they have Storm talent, so that's something where you're going to feel very, very confident. Big damage now for Chromie too. 55,000 damage for her already throughout the game. Still not... I would have expected them to poke more. I think they're waiting for the next minion wave and want to get the camp with it. He should still have enough time to go for the keep. But not getting the keep would be them missing out a little bit. So, yeah. And I think they're letting it slide. They don't want to risk anything. So instead they're just sitting here saying, alright, we're kind of getting too close. They're going to have their own level 20 talents. So how about we don't do that? We just play it a little bit slower. And what we're doing instead is we're going back, we're taking the map, we're taking every single camp that we can find. Opponent gets level 20 and then we're going to play from there. If we ever move back into the middle, then we have a chance to take that keep out. But for now, just let's play it slow and not overextend. Essentially the idea being, let's not give them a chance to get back into this too easily. So, yeah, plan I guess is working so far. What we still have to figure out, of course, is... Oh, I'm always a little bit worried when we have a pause. We had one team that thought in the previous series that they would actually have to play it with a bot. So, yeah, let's hope that this is not going to be a big deal. Seems like nobody disconnected, so most likely maybe spill some coffee on the keyboard again. But, yeah, I hope that this is going to be resolved quickly one way or another. Essentially, we have one team that lost every single fort that they had. The other team still has all their structures. But if the blue team, with all of that fight prowess that we saw earlier, is now able to all of a sudden, you know, win another team fight and get an objective, they could still claw their way back into this. And let's also remind everybody, this is game number 1 in the best of 5 series. So still very early in, but yeah, we'll see what exactly the issue is with the pause, and then we're going to jump back into the first game of this series. Well, then we're back. A little bit quicker than I thought even, so all fine here. I think they wanna actually take the camp, and it's also about vision. They're still baiting this a little bit, seeing if anybody is moving in to try and, you know, steal that away or sneak. They're hoping for Genji to maybe overextend and just face check the bush or something, but that hasn't happened. So that little trap that they were attempting to set up hasn't worked. I wouldn't say it has backfired or anything, but yeah. So yeah, not too shabby. I mean, either way, Leo is now down. Leoki is going down a lot here, activating his trade. Of course, always just activating his trade. This is at the end of the day all that they're really trying, right? It's all trade activation. You might as well use it. You have it, so why not use it? That's the thought process here. But Shrine is activating down at the bottom of the map. And it was actually a pretty smart move of the blue team to destroy the fort at the bottom. While the red team was attempting to bait at the top right camp, They went for the bottom 4, took it out, and that's super important for the next objective, because this is going to be a decisive one, and it's spawning bot lane. The problem... The problem is that they're losing Johanna just before it spawns. You can't fight into this with your main tank gone. That's just not gonna happen. So utter disaster now for Team Ash. Just as it started to look a little bit better potentially for them. And they might have had a chance to fight for an objective, you know, go through the bottom. Imagine them winning this Punisher. Winning a team fight, taking out 2 heroes, winning the Punisher and go for the bot lane. They could take out the keep and then maybe even walk towards the core. But as it stands right now, they lose Jojo at the worst moment in time. And then what we're getting now is a move towards the middle where they can just poke against the keep here. As long as Johanna is not here, it's a 5 versus 4, so this is an easy kill. This is no problem whatsoever. You have more catapult pressure once you take this one out, which they're fully aware of. So yep, this is eliminated. And now they move down to the bottom of the map to just continue what they started with the bot side keep. This is where things could fall apart for Team Ash completely. This is where they absolutely could lose the game right now. So utter disaster for the team. Big attacks now happening here. Another key. This keep will fall. The only question in this context is really, are they going to lose the game or are they just going to lose the game? This is the only question here. Damage output of Chrome is at 64,000. We have Gul'dan and Genji on 42k each. Carrigan with 43,000. Here's the next play. And Tomb coming out, buried alive, not connecting the way that they wanted here. Quick, another attack is coming, but the Punisher, after marching through the keep, going straight for the core, dropping nearly entire shield, not being able to take the entire thing down, but talk about taking things down. Genji, Brightwing, both gone. Now they're trying for more. It's a 5 versus 3. And in other words, it is an utter disaster for them right now. This is going to be game. There's just no way to salvage this anymore. The shield is getting poked down. They have only 2 defenders. There's catapults on the core too. Mid lane, bot lane, everything is pushing now against Team Ash. What started off with a very aggressive and really good team fights from the blue team is now just total shambles for them. Team Ash is going to lose game number 1 in this best of 5 series, as the Raiders are setting themselves up for victory. Still chasing some heroes as the core goes down, but that's the 1-0 lead in the best of 5 for the red team. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom, map number 2. So let's go, Team Ash. I like the team fighting, really cool performance on the first map. Now that we're going into the second map with a lead for the Raiders, they will also have to make the macro plays work at the end of the game. It's maybe a bit unfair to them. I think their macro play was actually not that horrible. They didn't fall for the trap at the top right. They went for the bottom fort. But losing Jojo just before the fight happens, that was of course more than unlucky. So yeah, that was a bit... yeah. I would have loved to see that fight. I wanted to see that fight. It was already a really cool high-stakes game where both of them were at each other's throat basically from the get-go, but I would have loved to, you know, just see them in a situation where it's down to the final objective, or where there's all of a sudden a comeback opportunity at least for Team Ash, and then see how that fight plays out. But with Jojo dying before he even came to that, I kind of feel robbed a little bit. My F gets banned, so does Sylvanas. I mean, again, still... brain fog a little bit because of being sick, but I looked at this and was like, at least the good thing is Kerrigan can't be played again. I was like, wait a second, wrong tournament. So yeah, Kerrigan can indeed be played again. There's no draft rules, there's no shenanigans going around. There's like vanilla drafting rules, but we have on Towers of Doom obviously a chance for them to play Kerrigan. I kind of doubt it a bit though. Sylvanas and Blaze get banned, so is the Haka, so one of the Globus and potential top laners is also taken out. Urel, good pick. Marcel could be taken, but I doubt it. But Urel would be a good pick for the top lane. You still have Hogger. Of course, you have also Leoric, so this is probably the 3 big ones to point out in that context here. And Jojo gets picked again first. starts to feel a little bit like a preference pick as well, and not just for the combos. There's one thing taking that on Infernal Shrines, a little bit different if you do it also on Towers of Doom. Here comes Brightwing and Diablo, pretty common comp as your first two picks. And obviously Diablo, if you have a good Diablo player, then you can bully people around like crazy. So that's what he's going to try and do here. The OG bully, but for the blue team, I would assume that we're going to get a side laner now, at least. There's Hogger and Chromie. Picking Chromie also picks it away from Nano, so you already know that Nano is not going to be able to grab her. You can still, if you're Nano, go for Hanzo, can combo Hanzo's arrow into an Apocalypse. If you want to go for a combo, if not, Lightning Breath is always great for Diablo, no matter who you're playing with. So yeah, make it crispy. And the final bans. Tracer. Yeah, if Tracer's zipping around and capitalizing a bit on the poke from Chromie, you know, you hit a couple of targets with Chromie, everybody is low, Tracer comes in, gets the final hits, and they will try to avoid that. I'm still... okay, false stat out, so no globals essentially. At least the Haka false stat. I'm still curious what Nano's going to play, because I want to know if he plays Hanzo or if we're going to see him on a different mage, which could definitely be the case here. And then you always have Ultralisk as a little bit of an X factor in general. Yes, he could still play Carrigan, obviously. We have already Maiev banned. Genji is up, so you could go Hanzo Genji if you wanted to. And they go Vikings! Alright! Not even last pick. Okay. I did not expect the Vikings play here. We've seen Sven on Vikings before, so it's not surprising that he plays it, but I did not have Vikings on the list for this one. We get Genji, and now all of a sudden Team Ash is looking at us like, okay. So, yeah, have fun with that. Let's see how they're reacting. At least they have 2 more picks. They go for Uther and they have Greymane. Okay. So we're gonna get some Divine Shield action, very likely, and that leaves Ultralisk as the final pick. Color me intrigued. I'm definitely game. What are they gonna do with this now? Ultralisk could play Genji. If they want to have a mage, they can just simply pick it now. They can swap between Ultralisk and Nano, no problem whatsoever. Vikings to control it. You want to have a strong 4-man. So let's see what the choice is for their final pick now to put that strong 4-man group together. It's Liming. They get Liming. They have their mage. Guys, Towers of Doom, map number 2. Raiders are in the lead. Let's see if Team Ash can bring it back and put a point onto the scoreboard. Game number 2. Team Ash on the left in blue with Lopaka on Johanna. We get Renella on Uther, Morenas on Hogger, Limu on Greymane, and Miriale is playing Chromie. Oh, on the right side of the map, their opponents playing with the Vikings here, locked in by Sven. I'm already a fan, so this is going to be a fun one. The 4-man therefore consists on Skok on Diablo. We got Death Knight on Brightwing, Ultralisk on Liming, and Nano is playing Genji. So, well, with that said and done, what is going to happen from the blue team side? They are the ones that have to react to this, of course, right now. So, yeah, what can they possibly do here? Do they use... I mean, Greymane and Chromie as a combo as they're trying to use it right now can, of course, be quite dangerous. So the question is, how much can they put those in scene in order to gain momentum here? Vikings can be very annoying when they're just controlling the macro game. On this map, of course, where you have the altars spawning, you can play around the objective with the Vikings very easily. It's not only about claiming additional altars, but it's also about denying your opponent altars that they want to grab, because you have those extra bodies on the map. So specifically, the triple altar phases are massively annoying when you're playing against the Vikings. Specifically, of course, if the Viking player knows what he's doing. And Eric goes down. He's the first one to fall. Seems like they're going to try and invade some of the opponent's pumpkin camps. So they're just basically saying, hey, our 4-man is better than your 4-man. And we can always pull someone else in to help us out here too. So they're stealing the pumpkins away. Genji was also at the top, so there was absolutely no chance for the red team to be here in time with everyone. That's a nice little move. This is the aggression that we want to see from Team Ash. This is the aggression that we've seen from them in the past. I mean, again, this team has gone through so many iterations. By the way, this time the name stands for Adventure Scripted by Lopaka. So I find it amazing how many different variations of that name they can come up with. The initial one was Arthur's Stroidram, which means apparently in Russian, if I'm not mistaken, Arthur builds a temple. And yeah, we had so many. I mean, honestly, if you've been... I don't even remember half of them. If you do, you can drop it in the comments, of course. I would be more than happy to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane and see who can remember names and what the acronym stood for. But in this tournament right now, it is Adventure Scripted by Lopaka. And it's kind of funny to me how many different variations they had in the past. How many times, like how many new variations of that acronym they can actually come up with. Not only that the team obviously changed over time, but also that they always find another thing that they can put in there. Either way, no kills so far. A little bit of macro play, quite a bit of it actually, but the triple altar phase is now coming up. So this is where things are starting to get interesting. You would assume the blue team to get one altar, but they're getting a kill here. They're heavily aggressive. Stealing the pumpkins away at the beginning allowed them also to take that wall out quickly, so now they're already pushing for the bell tower itself. So, not bad. Yeah, I mean, top side, Hogga is now moving past. We have down at the bottom of the map, Renella is still sitting tight here, Miriala. And the interrupts are now slowly happening. They're actually getting this one. At the top, Hogga got destroyed. Alright. Hogga is down. Interestingly enough, honestly, I really feel that they have misplayed this a little bit. With the Vikings, I would have expected them to go for the one at the bottom and just interrupt the top over and over and over again, which they haven't done. So now the blue team might even walk away with 2 altars. Against the Viking team, that's a little bit sus, if you ask me. Depends a bit on Greymane, though. If he dies now, it's a different story, and indeed he does. Greymane gets bodied. Calamity in now for Li Ming, obviously. I mean, duh. And Ultralisk still falls. So the counter kills are at least there. They're going for Chromie too. Damn, this exploded quickly. Everybody's dead or dying over here. 2 down on the blue team side, 2 on the side of the red team as well. So Renella and his boys, they get 2 out of the 3 altars against the Vikings team. With ease, I'd say. Here's what I personally expected. I expected one of the Vikings to lock in the top right, the other Viking to go for the top left and keep interrupting, and the rest of the red team, the 4-man, making a move for the one in the middle at the bottom of the map. And they just didn't. They didn't make that play, they didn't move in for it, and I am a little bit surprised by that. I mean, eventually, it might have happened that you lose out on the second altar, but I would have thought there's more of a fight for it than that. Either way, they're invading the camp again, and damn, Diablo goes down once more. They're crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. 4 kills to 3. Great moves by Team Ash, and they just shrugged off game number 1 like it's nothing. They came in and they just said, we don't care. We don't give a damn. And they're just gonna come in right now and we're gonna drop you guys like a hot potato. So, there it is. They have 4 kills to 3. They're pushing more and more for the bottom bell tower. They don't care about the Vikings. Their 4-man is powerful. But with Ultralisk and him now having Calamity, that reset possibility is something that at least I would be a bit concerned about. So, yeah, you gotta be really, really careful about those resets that could come together for Ultralisk in the big team fights. So, that would worry me probably the most if I wasn't that sure. Double altar at the bottom of the map, that's where the Vikings have to again start interrupting. Chromie with level 1 has now nearly completed her quest. Once again, the first time. Diablo again, the target at the front. Pumpkins are making it through. 1-2 connecting. Trying for Greymane here. Switch over to Lopaka. Condemn, alright. And maybe a kill now. X-Strike, Brightwing. And Death Knight gets out. What? Uther falls instead. The Ghost is still able to heal them up a little bit. They're turning it on Nano and get at least Genji killed. But damn, that is something that I did definitely not expect to happen like this. Now they go for Miriala as well. 1 down, 2 down. Absolute bloodbath down here. I mean, damn. Red team, finally, with all of the kills they got, and look at Ultralisk. Yes, he gets the reset and he pulls it off. They get the shots fired. But that team fight was big. Towards the back end, once that we had the resets coming in, I mean the kill against Chromie to lead it up, then Jojo getting killed, and Ultralis capitalizing on one reset after another. They destroy the wall here super easily. 7 kills to 6 now. Big lead in experience also for the red team. So that's something else that they were able to take away from this. Big lead in experience by nearly a level now. The attack towards Morenas in the middle. I mean, it is Team Ash as we know and love them. Always aggressive, always looking for team fights, always believing in their chances to take another opponent down, but then also overstepping a little bit, believing maybe sometimes a bit too much and then getting punished for it. Renella with the money pick riding in style into battle as they're trying to go for Ultralis. But Diablo's arriving. Yeah, they still want that belt tower. Belt tower's a bit low. Bullet comes out. Dibbles, careful. Barbecue. Lopaka is getting away. Ultralis trying to follow up on that with some extra damage to the combo that he looks to unleash. But level 13 talents are now dangerously close. That's going to be another power spike for the red team that they will be happily using during that fight. Miriale, low, X-Strike. Genji immediately back out. Hogga is still at the top lane. Hogga at the top lane, Divine Shield on Jojo, and they're all retreating here. Joanna trying to cover the retreat. Uther with a stun, and they have half a level until they're hitting level 13. It's getting interesting here. I mean, 31,000 damage for Chromie. She's obviously ahead in damage. Another attempt to go for the pumpkin camp, but this time the red team stands their ground and locks it in. This is actually the first time that they got it in this game. Every time before, it was the blue team that invaded and grabbed it. So, right now, Sven continuously attempting to channel a single altar that is currently up on the map. Not getting too much out of it yet. 6 kills to 7, as I already said. And the Vikings still pushing the lanes. Hogga has to react to it. So this is a bit of a problem. This is a huge problem. Top and mid lane will continuously experience pressure, but at least we have 13 talents on each side. So Sven again channeling, having that 5th body in the fight is always nice for them. Easy regeneration for him too, but they go for Skog and Diablo. He's low and survives, but Brightwing, Greymane, oh boy. Way too many heroes now all of a sudden that are dead again. 3 dying in total. Everybody just absolutely getting murdered over here. Renella gets killed as well. Now they go for Lopaka, try to drop him too. But absolute bloodbath once more. I mean, look at that fight. They're chasing Diablo, they're chasing him hard, trying to get the kill on him. And then it's Genji coming through with the damage against Chromie. Jojo with the kill. Diablo picking off Greymane. So 3 heroes down, and the red team is pulling a bit further ahead. The Raiders with the 1-0 in the series, and now on top of that also closing in on level 16 and establishing more and more of a presence in this second game of the best of 5. Yeah, the winner bracket semifinals are absolutely going bonkers over here. The Viking play so far is working out nicely. If you take a look at the experience, just in general, the Vikings obviously ahead of everyone else here. Uh-oh, Diablo though, has to be a bit cautious. Also a big lead in hero experience alone, and with Uther being burned to the ground, that's going to increase that further. Limo, unlikely to survive. I mean, they're going to go for him once that the Uther ghost has disappeared. Well, but they need a few more than only Diablo. So now that the blue team is back up in force. Uh-oh. No, Jojo, not like this. Johanna goes down. Ah, that is 2 blondies gone. And they go for Greymane. It's a triple, baby. Yep, 3 heroes eliminated. They got another 3 kills. And this is starting to become more and more tricky. Johanna was the first one to fall. Then they made the move for Chromie. And Greymane obviously trying to escape here, but he doesn't stand a chance either. So all of them gone. 14 kills now to 7. Yeah, they're doubling the kill count. They're taking the bell tower. They have control with the Vikings. Triple altar phase once when it comes up is going to be a massive pain. We're already on 24 points on the blue team score against the 32 that we see for the Raiders. But this last attack and all those kills that they came together, that's an issue. That's 5 shots fired against the core, down to 19. At the top though, the fight against Genji. Blue team is just desperately trying to get kills. As they should. I mean, level 16 is already in. They're on level 18. It's a 2-level advantage. They're closing in now slowly on level 20. That's going to be the next goal for them. But they're in such a great spot. And the blue team, again, is trying to get kills now. As they should. 16 versus 16 talents. That's where you want to fight. But there's the barbecue again. She needs the Divine Shield. Yeah, and gets it. So Jojo gets the Divine Shield, but Morena slow and is able to escape before the Diablo puts him into the mix again. But Uther, he's not so lucky. Uther is gone. They're losing more and more ground. Vikings all over the place, still in the middle, down at the bottom. But the team fights are now continuously being lost. They get Diablo, but he was fully stacked, so he's going to be back in a moment. Right Wing is also getting murdered. Finally, a couple of kills for Team Ash. I'm just afraid that it's too little too late. I'm not sure if that is going to be enough for them. Vikings are now pushing pumpkins through. Those will connect. That's 3 more shots fired against the core. That is already down to 19 points. 16 for now. Oh, but that changes things. Genji and Li Ming are gone. Okay, staggered deaths against the red team. My first question would be, why the hell were they there in the first place? That's a 20 seconds difference between Brightwing coming back and Genji and Li Ming reappearing. So why would you be in that spot? That makes absolutely zero sense to me. They should have fallen back. Now they are going to have a bit of a problem getting mad value out of the triple altar phase. And that sucks. So they're losing 2. That's 6 shots fired against the Raiders. But this was honestly the moment where they could have gone for an absolute death blow against the blue team. But that timing of Genji and Li Ming both inting, that's a bit bad. All 3 altars taken. I mean, fair, only 9 shots fired. They weren't able to take down that bell tower at the bottom of the map, but think about what they just averted. My personal expectation with a 5 versus 5 would have been a minimum of 2 altars claimed by the Raiders. That's 10 shots. They would have been down into the single digits at 6. So right now we have 12 kills to 15. The gap in experience has been severely closed. This is actually pretty decent for Team Ash, given where they started. Not a fantastic position, don't get me wrong. But this is looking way better than it just looked a couple of minutes ago. So, maybe an opportunity now for the team to bring this back? I mean, who knows? We'll see if they can do that. Bell tower at the bottom of the map is nearly getting converted, so more bad news, so to say, for the blue team. Sorry, for the red team. They're going to lose this one. That bell tower is going to be converted over with anybody just like throwing some chewing gum at it. So, are we going to see a sick comeback here? Level 20 talents done already. Vikings are moving back out. Well, we get the Fury of the Storm. But I am very, very curious to see what's now going to happen with 20 talents on each side. Because I'm telling you one thing. If the blue team wins this, then it's a massive throw from the Raiders. And yes, it's Towers of Doom. It's the comeback map. The comeback map in the pool. But this is still a situation that shouldn't exist the way that it does. So, next fight is going to tell us a lot here. So things are a little bit crazy on that account. Damage outputs currently at 54,000. We got 69,000 for Chromie. 15 to 12 on the kills. Yeah, and here comes the double altar phase. 4 shots already fired. Vikings are still interrupting. They're trying to go for both. But Diablo is low. Gets the heal from Brightwing. Still, Hellgate's out. Vikings continuously trying to just channel. They're sneaking in. Sven is just over and over trying to go for a quick channel here, keeping them on their toes. But they're all moving away. They're actually disregarding it. They're just letting it happen. So it's going to be 12 to 19 shots. They want to have the bell tower instead at the bottom of the map, and they're going to get it. Yeah. So 19 shots or 19 points on the side of the Raiders. It's very close, and they're not getting it. They get it low, but they're not getting the entire bell tower. This went from a game that looked like it's a massive stomp in the mid-game to one where Team Ash has a serious chance of winning. And all because Genji and Li Ming got greedy. Because they thought they could win a fight where they should absolutely not have fought. They could have fallen back, they could have played it slow, and now they're about to lose 2 bell towers here. I think they might get murdered. So first of all, they're starting to lose a lot of hit points. Top side bell tower is nearly destroyed. The one at the bottom is definitely going to fall. 100%. There it is. Gone. They're all retreating. And now Hogger is moving to the top. He's trying to grab this one as well. Hogger is going to take this one way or another. The fight at the bottom of the map continues. It's going to be 6-2 bell towers in just a second. Greymane is gone. Ah, that's of course bad news now. Li Ming getting the kill on Greymane, that's bad. And they're going to lose Uther, but he has redemption. Uther goes down, but he has redemption. It's up. So he's going to be back. Problem is, Chromie won't. Chromie won't be back. So they're losing too many heroes now. 2 heroes are already down. Here comes the stun. Genji X strikes away. And it's a 5 versus 2 at the bottom map together with the bell tower. And Renella is already way too low. He is going to fall. Ultralisk is killing him. And this time he won't be coming back. At least not anytime soon. So all of a sudden the situation has massively changed. Team Ash once again went into battle. Battled too long. Lost the fight. Now they're losing the bell towers here. The Vikings are interrupting any channel attempt on the 2 altars that we have. And they're retaking at least one. So 5 versus 3 situation going on like now. Oh, Hogger killed 2. Oh boy. 81,000 damage now for Li Ming. 80,000 damage for Chromie. And they're inting. They're inting. 5-man team wipe. They're losing everybody. They're losing everybody right now. They shouldn't actually channel us through. They don't. They want to have the bell tower at the bottom of the map first. 13-21. And there it is. If they now channel both, then we're going to see 4 points on the core. They could just go for boss. They should go for boss. They can end the game here. They can end the game right here, right now. And they're moving for exactly that play. They've taken both of the altars as they should. Now they're moving in for the boss, and this is going to end game number 2. Team Ash, they fought back. They clawed their way back into game number 2, but at the end of it, it's the Raiders with another victory. They take the 2-0 lead over their opponents in this best of 5 series here at the winner bracket semifinal. GG. Game number 3, match point number 1. A little bit of a sad panda. I was secretly hoping that we would go into this specific series with a 1-1 score. And for a long time it really looked like Team Ash would win, but that's one of the problems that Team Ash has in general. They're looking really, really good until they don't. So now we're heading into Garden of Terror. My F is just continuously banned here. This happens every single game right now. But yeah. The unfortunate fact is, of course, that in the late game at least, the Raiders are doing incredibly well. And there was again, the moment when Genji and Li Ming died, that was the comeback moment for Team Ash. And it looked so good for them. But the Raiders, towards the end, just really a tight-knit play, making it happen again, going for the double altar channel, and then moving towards the boss and getting that too. So they played it out very nicely. It's a great move there. And deserved 2-0 victory. Yes, there were opportunities for Team Ash to take a win, but they couldn't quite pull through. And now they have to go for a full reverse sweep and win 3 in a row, unless they're willing to play through the losers bracket. So they're going to try. And again, in this RavenCourt tournament, we have roughly 3,500 euros of prize money. Euros, dollars, I think euros, on the line. Suffice it to say, it's a fair chunk of pizza money, alright? So they're not just screwing around, having some fun or whatever. No, they're going to really do whatever they can in order to proceed here. Now they have first pick now. Team Ash decided that they want to have first pick, first ban, and they go for the Haka this time. So in the previous 2 games, they always picked Johanna first. This time we have the Haka, which is also a bit of a surprise to me, because I expected Hogger, if you're going for a side laner. Hogger has consistently on Garden of Terror in the European scene either being immediately banned, or he has been instead picked very early. Right now, we have him potentially banned out as the 3rd pick. They wanted to go for Falset instead. They see the Haka and they're saying, alright, if they take the Haka and we don't take Falset right now, then we might be in trouble. So we have a global on each side. It's a big map, that makes sense. But seeing the Haka picked over Hogger is quite interesting. So, given the map. So let's see what the blue team is going to follow this up with. I mean, you could technically obviously go for a triple frontline too. Lucio, and there's Johanna again. It seems like they really are more comfortable playing with Johanna than anything else here. So yeah, Jojo is in, Lucio to zip around quickly. Falstad is going to be interesting as well as a choice. Falstad is, by the way, since we've been talking earlier about the differences between the different metas and also what we saw in Korea, I believe I've seen a single Falstad in Korea. Have you seen one? I think in the grand final in the best of 9 series there was a Falstad pick. But even on that I'm not really sure. It might be that the entire tournament was played out without Falstad even being taken once. So yeah, definitely a couple of meta choices. And here in this tournament we've seen now played multiple times, we've seen banned. So the European scene obviously still a bit different. And to point out one other difference, Lunara. Lunara's played in NA, she's played in Korea or in Asia, but not really a lot of Lunara picks over in the European scene. Maybe every now and then in a blue moon you get her on Battlefield of Eternity, but that's already about it. So they're sick and tired of Sven's shenanigans. Vikings on the last map, now they're more afraid of Samuro. Hogga, by the way, still up. Still an option for the red team. It's kind of interesting to me too. So, yeah, they just decided, hey, we're more worried about Samuro than Hogga, and now Hogga obviously gets taken. I can totally believe that if it wasn't for Samuro banned out, that Sven would have leaned towards picking him. Stitches and Falstad. So now all of a sudden that Falstad pick looks a little bit different. After a Gorge you can get a Gust isolation. Gorge Gust as a combo. But then they need real serious damage afterwards. And I believe that's when Nano comes in with the mage. So Greymane and Genji. Yeah, Greymane good for camps. Genji to put some pressure on as well. And it leaves us with the final pick. So, well, let's see what Nano is going to go for. I was honestly thinking earlier already that he would go for Mephisto, but he hasn't. Now, obviously, again, all the heroes that have been picked are still available, so there's no restrictions. Can go into Chromie if you want to lock a target down, but I would be surprised if he doesn't take a mage. Goes Junkrat. Does Junkrat count as a mage? Nah. Alright, Junkrat is in the house. Now you have your traps also after Gorge, so there you go. God of Terror, everybody. Match point number 1 for the red team. Can Team Ash put a point onto the board? Let's find out. Third game in the series and the first match point. Team Ash on the left side with Renella on Lucio. We got Miriala on Greymane. Morenas on Dehaka. Limu is playing Genji. And Lopaka is playing Johanna for the 3rd time in a row. Seems like he really likes that hero, so a bit of a preference pick, I would assume. Now on top of that, we're currently getting Sven on Hogga, Death Knight on Brightwing. As you can see here, Skork with Stitches going into the patchwork creation right from the get-go. And on top of that, Ultralisk on Falstad and Nano on Junkrat. So, let the games begin. Okay, what can they do with it? Who's going to get that first kill? How is Stitches going to be... Well, how is Stitches going to perform just in general? And what can they actually do as the game continues to try and counter the Hook Gorge into Gust combo with Junkrat obviously trying to lock the target down even further. So something to definitely keep an eye on. See what they're going to do with this. But yeah, down here already a little bit of aggression from Genji. Genji is obviously going to be on Falstad's ass throughout the entire game. I mean, that's basically what's going to happen. Genji is going to come in here and whenever he has a chance is going to try and make a play for Falstad. Is going to try and take him out here. This is just going to be the name of the game from here on out. So, this is generally what happens when you have Genji going up against the birdie. And anything else would, to tell you the truth, absolutely shock me. But for the blue team, this game is going to be super important. They need to do something here. They need to make a big play and really see what they can pull off in order to get some value on this. So already starting to slowly go for the camps. It's actually the blue team that is even trying to invade some of them. Hasn't really worked out for them just yet. Lopaka is getting attacked now. Gonna go for him. And down at the bottom of the map, we have globals obviously now through the draft on both sides. So as the game continues, you can still make a few moves there. But down here at the bottom of the map, Ultralisk, Death Knight, still tight. They could jump on another lane at any moment and really create a numbers advantage there. Level 4 talent slowly kicking in. We're also getting the magic spit again. Brightwing disgusting as usual. Tenderizer and Hammer Gains. Yeah, Blizzard at some point when they started to consolidate all of those icons, I honestly don't really know if I'm a fan about this or not. I feel they got a bit lazy with designing icons for every single talent. And instead we just got some ass approach trying to go for similar icon variations for similar performances. But yeah, different colors, a little bit of different backgrounds, and that's basically it. But it is what it is. But I started obviously a long time ago already. So now that we're heading into the first seed, we haven't seen a single kill yet. Nobody has inted or just like face checked the bush a little bit too hard. In the meantime, we're getting nice damage at the bottom against the Haka, and honestly, him going up against nice. Gets the connect on Brightwing with the Tong. That's a bit of extra damage. Deathknight got actually hit by a fair amount of towers here. Genji is not moving in. They know already that there is a rotation coming, so Brightwing is not just sitting around and lets herself kill. Instead, a quick move back to ensure that she's not gonna be first blood. So Death Knight moved back out, just Hearth, and can now just go back towards the fight. The first seed hasn't been picked up or anything yet, so yeah, still up for grabs as the teams are starting to make those plays. But the blue team with their camp at the bottom of the map now. Camp clear, obviously heavily important. This is where Hogger excels on the red team side. This is where Greymane and I guess the Haka excel on the blue team side. It seems like Genji made a Genji play. Limu! Jumped a little bit too deep for that one, I suppose. Still fine. He's still good. He didn't die. So yeah, it's all good, guys. But the attacks keep coming at the bottom of the map, and this time, even with the wall being opened up, it might be the end of Miriala. Lucio falls dead, and there it is. Ultralis gets the kill, says thank you very much. If you think you can pull plays like this against us, we are gonna shut you down. So Falstad flies in, says hello to the Greymane, and gets the kill. Nicely done. I mean, really well capitalizing on that. Up at the top, we now have Hogger coming in against Sven. We have down here at the bottom of the map the attacks still coming through as they're going for Renella. Camp, they were trying to see if they can maybe even invade it. That obviously didn't happen. The seed interrupt attempt not working, so now we have 1 seed against 0 in favor of the red team. Yeah, Miriala is starting to move in against this Renella. Careful, alright. Yeah, and well, let's see. We have now Morenas and Limu all the way up at the top here. Down at the bottom of the map, Miriala and Lopaka still pushing for that one. If you can do a bit of damage here for free, then hey, by all means. There's only one camp up on the map, and I suppose that the Haka is going to go for it, or Greymane now that he starts to rotate away. The next seed is spawning. It's been a pretty disciplined early game, honestly. The first 5 minutes of the game, everybody is just really playing close to home. Maybe with the exception of Limu. Genji has been trying to get some kills, has been making some moves. There was more aggression from Team Ash than anything else. But I would also say that it's more... once a level 13, for example, hits for the red team, the hook range increase is really nice for the red team, so that they are stalling this a bit doesn't surprise me. Junkrat dying, specifically with the timing at which he did, is obviously a bit like, well, not really too great for them. So that's a seed easily grabbed by the blue team, tying it up, as both teams hit level 10 at the same time. We get the shockwave. No surprises on you. No surprises here. The Haka trying to get away. Yeah, Gorge already used, but they are able to get him out. So Stitches, even with the Gorge that was able to use against him, is not able to net them a kill here. And the Gust, on the other hand, might just be able to pull that off, because now they're aiming for Renella. But Genji takes down the birdie. After Falstad, Gusted, Ultralisk is now being punished. And the rest of the blue team gets out. So we got 2 kills to 1 in total here. Junkrat and Falstad both dying. And we move now for the next camp. It's an interesting game. Again, this is if they don't win here, then they are in the losers bracket. Team Ash needs to win multiple games in a row now. 3 in total if they want to really have an opportunity here. So they're trying. They're pushing for the bot lane, they're pushing for the fort, they already start to do some structural damage over here. Greymane is moving towards the top, not only to push Brightwing back, but also to ensure that their own wall is not taking too much damage on this one. Yeah, and down here, I mean, honestly, the duo of Genji and The Haka has done a fair amount of damage. It's half of the hit points already gone. Another hook. No Gorge, at least in this case. We're playing this one slow. And the next attack is coming towards the minions on the seeds. So they are going to grab another one. This is actually the second seed for the blue team now in a row. So they were grabbing 2 in a row. Position was much better for them. Grayman then transitions straight over to the next mercenary camp. When it comes to just raw damage output, we now 10,000 for Genji, 14,000 for Hogger. You can see in the hero damage alone that this was not really a very fight-heavy game so far. So we've seen a couple of battles play out. We have seen a few kills, but it's not that we are getting any extended fights over camps that teams are fully committing to fighting for a seed or anything of the sorts. For the red team, it's going to be important to get level 13 at least. They want to have that extended range that will allow them to poke from a distance much more successfully with Skulk and try to get those kills together. If you play a Stitches composition, you're fully willing to let your opponent push into you. I mean, it's half of the idea here. But that also means that the blue team is now getting value, and that results in the fort at the bottom of the map taken out. Now, Team Ash, given who they are, I would assume that they're going to push for that topside seed. The position is obviously not ideal for them, since the seed spawns much closer to the red team. It makes it easier for them to fall back, grab a fountain, and then re-engage. But if you know one thing about Team Ash is that they usually don't care about those things and are fully willing to commit to a team fight when they see one. Now, are they going to do that here? It would be Garden Terrors for them if they can get it. But I'm not so sure just yet. They're hoping to interrupt. They got Shield Glare, of course. And they got a few more tools in their arsenal. So it would be shocking if they didn't at least do that. But yeah. Right now, the seed has been grabbed. So they initially started to interrupt it a little bit. They didn't go too overboard with it, though. And are now still fine. Only 3 kills. Like, contrast that a little bit with the games that we just had beforehand, where it was just brawl after brawl after brawl. I mean, really playing a much more controlled game right now, and not being willing to risk a whole lot here. So the Siege Giants are now taken at the bottom of the map. Top side, they're hoping to set Greymane up for a bit of damage. They're actually getting Morenas also in the bush here. The idea being to go for Junkrat, I suppose, but instead they're switching off to Stitches, who gets the heal from Brightwing. Gorgeous! Reptile, possibly also as a damage and isolation against Greymane, and they get the kill. Greymane gone, nicely done. That one was important. And it was not what they initially were hoping for. They were really looking for... First of all, the blue team was looking for Junkrat. But here comes the second hook after now. The Haka has been taken out at the top. They're going for Lopaka. And oh, gets the D-shield out. The Lion Skin out. But Falset flies in! And Ultralisk nearly gets murdered. Well, he might still, because Genji wants that kill. And Genji is likely gonna get that kill! No! Limu can't make it happen. Limu couldn't get the kill. Falstead, even after he started to int a little bit, is still able to escape. So Ultralisk is alive. 21,000 damage for Junkrat now. We got 16,000 for Genji. And yep, it's an interesting situation here. I mean, right now, Ultralisk gets the channel, and they're grabbing the first set of Garden Terrors. So both teams are level 15, but even with the interrupted 10th of the blue team, they weren't able to drop them in time. So now, oh no, Morena's dying here is bad. If they lose more, that would be horrible. That's 2 heroes down, just as you have your Garden Terrors against you. So yeah, they're in deep trouble right now. This is a huge problem. 3 defenders against a 5-man stack with Garden Terrors on each lane that are all... Oh, and now they lose Genji. Oh boy, it's gonna hurt. Level 16, full level lead. They're gonna lose every single fort. That's the minimum here. They're gonna lose every single fort, and very likely more than that. Mad attack on every single lane right now, and it is a massive problem for the blue team. They're losing ground way too quickly, and Genji isn't even back yet. Guys, they're going to get more than that. Opening up the walls on those keeps alone is going to be huge for them. And this is exactly what they're aiming for here. I mean, look at it. The Garden Terrors are doing so much damage right now. All the forts are gone. With the waves that they're pushing in, they're going to break through some of the walls, or at least the gates. And this is just ideal for the red team. A level ahead, 4 kills ahead. Still looking for hooks with Stitches. Yep, throws it out. Genji unimpressed, so that doesn't work out. But now you can always slowly fall back, and in the process also start to take your opponent's camps with you. They're grabbing one. Jojo is a little bit too late to move on and try and take it. Stitches gets gorged. They want the isolation kill. Gust has already happened. There's the shockwave. Bye-bye, Johanna. They try for the Haka, who drops the isolation and doesn't connect it properly. Damn, they're in trouble. 5 versus 4 fight. They're desperately attempting to win it, but they can't. Greymane is gone. The Haka is gone. They're losing. Well, yep, he's dead as well. Genji is dead too. Nano is able to move out. Lucy was hoping for a kill. That means we have a 5 versus 1. Only the healer still survived. So they're coming in for the keep in the middle. And they're going to get it 100%. Very likely they're going to get more. If they go for the core here, who's going to stop them? Well, I think if they go for the core, there's a chance to defend it. It's going to take damage. It's going to take a lot of it. But there might be a chance to defend it. We're 13 minutes in. Death timers are low. Some damage will likely be done, but I'm not sure if they can finish the job. The shield is even still intact, and they're moving back here. Yeah, honestly. Oh, no, don't die again. Not like this. No, you can't do that. You can't just come back with a 5-man and then instantly die again. That's a perfect way to lose the game. No. I was just talking about how you're going to be able to defend. No. Team Ash. I mean, they go down fighting. You got to give them that, but they still go down. The Raiders with a 3-0 victory against Team Ash. That's game. Flawless victory. The Raiders move on to the winner bracket final. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.